Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Sansara saroga vinitani sang sannita satang sucisara sang sandhira kang swanna tanu palasang Sanglapadesing paname bisasam Sansabigang kevalmohanas Sannahakan mararane visesang Sangsevitang dasi mudarahasang Sanghara dhammang paname sadasam Sandasa ganna sita papanasang Sannapadhansing hatagore pasam Samparagamin sucisaravasang Sangvara sanghang paname rasasang Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the exalted one, the worthy one, the supremely enlightened one. Three refuge, Tisarana. Buddham saranam gacchami Dhammang saranam gacchami Sanghang saranam gacchami. I go to the Buddha for refuge. I go to the Dhamma for refuge. I go to the Sangha for refuge. Dutiyampi buddhang saranam gacchami Dutiyampi dhammang saranam gacchami Dutiyampi sanghang saranam gacchami. A second time I go to the Buddha for refuge. A second time, I go to the Dhamma for refuge. A second time, I go to the Sangha for refuge. Tatiyampi buddham saranam gacchami Tatiyampi dhammang saranam gacchami Tatiyampi sanghang saranam gacchami. A third time, I go to the Buddha for refuge. A third time, I go to the Dhamma for refuge. A third time, I go to the Sangha for refuge. 5 precepts, Panchasila. Panati pata veramani sikkapadang samadhiyami. I undertake the training tool to abstain from taking life. Adinnādāna veramani sikkapadang samadhiyami. I undertake the training tool to abstain from stealing. Kāmesu micchāchārā veramani sikkapadang samadhiyami. I undertake the training tool to abstain from sexual misconduct. Musavada veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. I undertake the training tool to abstain from false speech. Surameraya majjapamadatthana veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami. I undertake the training tool to abstain from intoxicating drinks and drugs causing heedlessness. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now we are going to pay our homage to the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. When we contemplate on the qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, that is one of the ways that we use to purify our mind. You know, in the name of Buddhism, whatever we do, focus on purification of our mind. When we worship to the Buddha, when we observe 5 precepts, anything that we do in the name of Buddhism, we train our mind to overcome suffering. We train our mind to purify from negative thoughts. Those are the things that we do. Especially, Buddha says, contemplating on the qualities of the Buddha is one of the meditation techniques that we use to overcome negative emotions, negative thoughts, unwholesome thoughts from our mind. And also contemplating on the qualities of the Dhamma, Buddha's teachings also like that. And contemplating on the qualities of the Mahasangha, Buddha's noble disciples, also a meditation technique. Okay? Those are the things that we are doing here. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Buddha Vandana. Homage to the Buddha. Iti so bhagava araham samma sambuddho vinja charana sampanno sugato lokavido anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati satta deva manus Buddha Bhagavati. Homage to the Dhamma, Buddha's sublime teachings. Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sandintiko Akaliko Ehi Pansiko Opanai Panchantang Veditam Vinyohiti. Sangha Vandana. Homage to the Buddha's noble disciples. Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Ujjopatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Nyaya Patipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Didan Chantari Purisa Yugani Atta Purisa Pungalan Esa Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Ahuneyo Pahuneyo Dakkineyo Anjali Karaniyo Anuntaram Puri Kentang Lokan Sati. Now we are going to offer these items that you prepared here very faithfully. Flowers, candles, drinks, everything we are going to dedicate to the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. By the power of those meritorious deeds that we acquired here, may you be well, happy and peaceful. May your educational goals meet with success, and may your all righteous wishes meet with success by the power of this spiritual energy. With that intention, let's offer these items to the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. Vandami cetiyang sambang sambatane supatithit saririka dhatu mahabodhim buddharupang sakalang sada ghanasaram padintena dīpena samadang sinām tiloka dīpang sambuddham pujayāmi tamonudam ganda sambhārayontena dōpenāhaṃ sugam Pujaye pujaniyantang puja bhajana muntamang vannagandha gunopetam etang kusuma santatin pujayami munindansa siripada saror Pujemi buddham kusumenani punyena metena labami mokkam puppan milayati yataidam kayo tatayati vinasabhavan Sugandhang setalang kam pasanna madurang subhang paniyametang bhagav patiganhatu muntamang adevase tuno bante gilana panchayang imam Anukampannupadaya patiganhatu muntamang imina punya kammena mame bala samam satang samagamo hotu Yavanimvana pantiya sadhu sadhu sadhu. Okay, now we are going to practice a meditation technique. I think all of you have heard about meditation. What is the meaning of meditation? Meditation means we purify our mind. Keeping our attention in the present moment, we develop positive thoughts, such as loving kindness, contemplating on the Buddha's qualities, breathing meditation. These are the meditation techniques that we use to purify our mind. Especially, we trained our mind to live in the present moment. The nature of our mind is that always our mind goes to past or future. That is the nature of our mind. We say it as, monkey mind. Always our mind goes to past or future. That is the nature of our mind. If we are clever, we keep our attention in the present moment with positive thoughts. That is the thing that we practice in meditation. Especially, according to Buddhism, we have recognized negative thoughts, unwholesome mental states that disturb our peace of mind, such as greed, anger, and delusion. These are the main negative or evil thoughts that disturb our peace of mind. By practicing meditation, in one side, we keep our attention in the present moment. On the other side, we develop positive thoughts in our mind. That is the thing that we are going to practice here. Okay? First of all, we should keep our body in a particular way that, when we meditate, we should come forward from the wall and we should take a sit straight and relax your body. Then we are going to practice meditation, keeping our attention in the present moment. Especially here, we are going to contemplate on the qualities of the Buddha. Buddha's all qualities can be included into 9. Itipiso Bhagavarahang. Buddha, the Supreme Buddha, the Blessed One, developed his mind to the maximum level with compassion and wisdom. When we think Buddha's noble qualities, then our mind is so pure and calm. And we are very happy because negative thoughts are not in our mind at the moment. And especially here, we contemplate on Buddha's noble qualities as 9 qualities. Itiviso Bhagava Arahang. Such indeed the exalted one, worthy, Samma Sambuddho, supremely enlightened, Vijjacharana Sampanno, endowed with knowledge and conduct, Sugato, well gone, Lokavidu, knower of the world, Anuttaro Purisa Dhammasarati, incomparable trainer of persons to be tamed, Sattaha Deva Manusanam, supreme teacher of gods and men, Buddho, enlightened, Bhagava, exalted. These are the qualities that we are going to contemplate on when we meditate here. And by contemplating on the qualities of the Buddha, we acquire positive thoughts, spiritual energy. By the power of this energy, we are going to bless all the beings in the world. May all beings be well, happy and peaceful. That is the meditation that we are going to practice here. Please keep your body calm and relaxed and sit straight. Okay? Close your eyes gently. Keep your right hand on the left hand together. First of all, be aware of your body posture that you are sitting here from legs to head. My legs, knees, hands, belly, shoulders, neck and head. Now, I feel my body only breathing in and out. I keep my attention around the nose or upper lip in the present moment. I don't think my past or future. I completely keep my attention in the present moment. Now, I am going to contemplate on the qualities of the Blessed One, the Supreme Buddha. Now, I imagine a very beautiful statue or picture that I have seen before. The Supreme Buddha is in front of me. I am thinking his noble qualities. The Blessed One cultivated his mind to the maximum level with compassion and wisdom. I think his noble qualities. Bhagavato Araham Buddha Guna Tejena Sambe Santa Bhavanto Sukhe Tanta. By the power of the quality of the Buddha, worthy, may all beings in the world be well, happy and peaceful. Bhagavato Samma Sambuddha Buddha Guna Tejena Sambe Santa Bhavantu Sukhe Tanta. By the power of the quality of the Buddha, Samma Sambuddha, supremely enlightened, may all beings in the world be well, happy and peaceful. Bhagavato Vidya Charana Sampanna Buddha Guna Tejena Sambe Santa Bhavantu Sukhe Tanta. By the power of the quality of the Buddha, Vidyacharana Sampanna, endowed with knowledge and conduct, may all beings in the world be well, happy and peaceful. Bhagavato Usgoda Dhammagaru Tejena Sambe Santa Bhavantu Sukhe Tanta. By the power of the quality of the Buddha, Usgoda, well gone, may all beings in the world be well, happy and peaceful. Bhagavato Lokavidu Buddha Guna Tejena Sambe Santa Bhavantu Sukhe Tanta. By the power of the quality of the Buddha, Lokavidu, knower of the world, may all beings in the world be well, happy and peaceful. Bhagavato Anuttara Purisa Dhamma Sarati Buddha guna tejena Sambe santam bhavantu sukhe tantam. By the power of the quality of the Buddha, Anuttara Purisa Dhammasarati, incomparable trainer of persons to be tamed, may all beings in the world be well, happy and peaceful. Bhagavato Santa Deva Manussanam Buddha Guna Tejena Sambe Santam Bhavantu Sukhe Tantam. By the power of the quality of the Buddha, Sattha Deva Manussanam, the teacher of gods and men, may all beings in the world be well, happy and peaceful. Bhagavato Buddha Guna Tejena Sambe Santam Bhavantu Sukhe Tantam. By the power of the quality of the Buddha, enlighten, may all beings in the world be well, happy and peaceful. Bhagavato Bhagavan Buddha Guna Tejena Sambe Santam Bhavantu Sukhe Tantam. By the power of the quality of the Buddha, Bhagava, exalted, may all beings in the world be well, happy and peaceful. May all beings in the world be well, happy and peaceful. May all beings in the world be well, happy and peaceful. May all beings in the world be well, happy and peaceful. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Samanta Chakravalesu Atra Gachantu Devata Saddammang Munirajassa Sonanto Sangha මොක්ඛදම් ධම්මස්සවන කාලෝ අයං බදන්තා ධම්මස්සවන කාලෝ අයං බදන්තා ධම්මස්සවන කාලෝ අයං බදන්තා නමෝ තංස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දන්ස නමෝ තංස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දන්ස නමෝ තංස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දන්ස සම්බ පාපස්ස අකරණං කුසලස්ස උපසම්පදා සචින්ත පරියෝදපනං ඒතං බුද්ධාන ශාසනන්ති. Homage to the exalted one, the worthy one, the supremely enlightened one. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear members of the Mahasangha, dear friends in Dhamma, all of you are warmly welcome. Here today, we are going to discuss the Buddha and his teachings. When you think the world religions, as I mentioned before, there are 5 main religions in the world. What they are? Hinduism, Judaism, Buddhism, Christianity, and Islam. Okay, very good. These are the 5 main religions in the world. In the schools, a lot of students, they study the fundamentals of these 5 religions. That is very important. Among them, as Buddhist followers, you know that what Buddhism is. That is very important. When someone asks you that what Buddhism is, what is your answer? What do you say about Buddhism? When somebody asks you, what is your answer? What Buddhism is?
It's a philosophy.
Yes, we can say Buddhism is a religion, philosophy, or anything we can say, but we should tell a definition to them. Very short introduction. What Buddhism is. Yes, please.
Teachings of the Lord Buddha, mainly focusing on the purity of the mind.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Buddha usually explains the way how we purify our mind. The path that leads to purify our mind. Buddha explained for his 45 years. First of all, I would like to explain the Buddha's character. Who is Buddha? Mm-hmm. Actually, Buddha was born in this world, in India, present Nepal, as a human being, as an ordinary human being. By birth, actually he was a human being. He was born in present Nepal, previously India or Bharata, in 623 BC. His mother was Mahamaya and his father was King Suddhodana. In his childhood, he studied the subjects and languages as a prince. At the age of 16, he married to Queen Yasodhara. At the age of 29, he did his renunciation, Nekkhamma, or the great renunciation. He left everything his palace, kingdom, child, the Rahula prince, and he left everything at the age of 29 for searching the truth of the world. After he left his everything at the age of 29, he spent other 6 years searching the truth. At the age of 35, he attained enlightenment by practicing the Eightfold Path. The special thing, as a Buddha, actually he realized, he discovered, and he attained enlightenment without any guidance from another person. He attained enlightenment by himself, by his own wisdom. That is the very important thing when we discuss Buddha's character. And after he attained enlightenment in Bodh Gaya, in India, we say he is a Supreme Buddha, Samma Sambuddha. Then he was not an ordinary person. After he attained enlightenment, he is a very special person. He is the Buddha. And after that, he explained his message to the world for 45 years as a Buddha. He attained enlightenment at the age of 35, and he passed away at the age of 80. He spent his Buddha life for 45 years. After he passed away, his noble disciples, Mahasangha, practiced this message, and they brought this message from time to time for how many years? More than 2,500 years. Especially in India, a lot of monks who were Arhantas protected this message, and after 230 years after Buddha's Parinibbana, passing away, the message went to Sri Lanka. Then Sri Lankan Buddhist monks protected this message for many years. After that, after 440 years of Buddha's Parinibbana, Sri Lankan Buddhist monks wrote this message in leaves. Then that is the Theravada Buddhism that we can see in the world, like in Nepal, Myanmar, Thailand, Cambodia, and Laos. Those are the Theravada Buddhist countries in the world. When we discuss Buddha's message, there are two traditions in Buddhism. I think when you study Buddhism in schools, mostly you study Mahayana Buddhism. But here we discuss the Theravada Buddhism, a little bit different, that Mahayana tradition believes that they attain enlightenment with the Samma Sambuddha. As a Samma Sambuddha, it is a very long journey. As Theravada tradition, we believe that we should attain enlightenment by arahantship as a Buddha's follower. That is the main difference in Theravada and Mahayana. Okay? Especially in the West and Europe. First, they study Mahayana Buddhism. Finally, they go to the deeper level by searching the Buddha's early message. First of all, they understand Buddhism through Mahayana tradition, through lamas, like Dalai Lama. Then they study Mahayana Buddhism. Finally, they go to Myanmar or Thailand or India, searching the Buddha's early message. Finally, where they go? They go to Sri Lanka, finding the Buddha's early message. Sometimes they are ordained there, and they study Buddhism, and they practice Buddhism finally they introduced Buddhism to the world, especially monks who are in America, Europe. A lot of monks, they go to Sri Lanka and they practice Dhamma and they protect Dhamma, they preach Dhamma to the world. Especially in the current society, a lot of people without any differences, they try to learn, study Buddhism and they want to practice Buddhism. Why is that? Even though some people are well educated, even though they are very rich, they have a lot of problems in their mind, especially stress. For stress management, a lot of people in the world, current society, they study Buddha's message and they practice their message for stress management. Especially psychiatrists recommend practice to some Buddhist teachings, such as mindfulness and loving kindness. If you study some experiments of psychiatrists that they have done for 4-5 decades, all of them recommend us to practice mindfulness and loving kindness for stress management. That is very important. Especially in the West and Europe, people have a lot of mental problems. Even though they are very rich, even though they are physically healthy, mentally they are unhealthy. That is why they want to study Buddhism, they want to practice this message and to get results for their mental health. Especially, they recommend to practice to Buddha's message, especially mindfulness and loving kindness. What is mindfulness? Mindfulness means the awareness of our body and mind. What is the loving kindness? They practice that may all beings be well, happy and peaceful. Whenever we are unhappy, whenever our mind is stressed, it means our mind is in the past experience. We have no mindfulness. On the other side, whenever we are unhappy, whenever we are unhealthy, with some mental problems, it means we are angry with others. When we practice loving kindness, thinking, may all beings be well, happy and peaceful, that is one of the ways that we can practice to overcome anger that disturbs our peace of mind. That is why Buddha explained in his path, at the beginning, we have to practice loving kindness, thinking, may all beings be well, happy and peaceful. If you practice loving kindness at least 5 minutes for a day, continuously at least for 6 months, you can see the results of this loving kindness. Then your mind is so pure and calm. You can live in the society without problems with your friends and relatives. That is very useful to go forward in your education and employment. That is why Buddhism has recommended to practice loving kindness for everyone. Here, first of all, I would like to explain you the qualities of the Dhamma. Especially when we discuss Buddha's message, there are 3 things that we should know. It says as 3 triple gems. The triple gem. What are the triple gems in Buddhism? Yes, the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. There are 3 refuges. 3 refuges. The Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. Understanding the triple gem is the very first step in Buddhism. What is the Buddha? Buddha, yes please?
Buddha's person who introduced all the teachings.
Yes, especially when we tell Buddha, it means Buddha's enlightenment, his understanding, wisdom. Not only his physical body, when we contemplate on the qualities of the Buddha, especially we contemplate on his enlightenment, his understanding, his wisdom. That means the Buddha. What is the meaning of the Dhamma? Dhamma means what he explained, what he taught, his sublime truth, his noble teachings, what he explained to the world. He explained to the world the way that leads to purify our mind, the purification of mind. Dhamma has 6 qualities. Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo. Dhamma is well expounded by the Blessed One. Sanditiko. Visible results. Akaliko. Immediately effective. Epassiko. It can be called in one to come and see. Opanaiko. Leading onwards. Pachattang Veditabbo Vinyuhi. It should be personally realized by the wise. Especially when we discuss Buddha's message, Buddha says, come and see. Buddhism never says us to come and believe. Come and see. How do we see it? Throughout practicing this message in our life. When you practice loving kindness, you can see the beauty of your life. When you practice 5 precepts, abstaining from killing life, abstaining from stealing, abstaining from drinks, then we can see the results in our life by practicing Dhamma. Visible results, immediately effective. The third gem is that Sangha. What does Sangha mean? Yes, Buddha's noble disciples, especially monks, who practice Dhamma, who attain enlightenment, and who is practicing Dhamma for enlightenment. They are Sangha. These are the 3 things we say the triple gem. These are the most valuable gems in our life. What is the meaning of gem? Gem is very valuable. When you think you are gems, you are very happy because you are very rich. How do we think about the triple gem? There also we are very rich. Why is that? Our mind is so pure and calm. We have no negative thoughts at the moment when we think the triple gem, Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. Sometimes when you think your material gems, sometimes you are afraid of that someone can steal them. Fear comes to you. But whenever you think the qualities of the triple gem, you are never unhappy. You have never fear. It brings us fearlessness. That is why the triple gem is said as gems. And understanding the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha is the very first level in Buddhism. Then, there is a very special thing in Buddhism. If we want to know what Buddhism is and if we want to practice and receive the results throughout practicing Dhamma, we should have 4 qualities. There are 4 things that help us to attain some spiritual developments. In the first page, they are said here. There are very important 4 things that we should develop from beginning to end on the path of liberation. Please look at your handout in the first page, the Buddha and his teachings. Here you can find end of the page. There are 4 things that we should receive when we are going to practice the Buddha's message. What they are? Yes, please. What is the first one? Association with a good friend who explains the Buddha's real message. Sappurisa Sanseva. In Pali language, Buddha's language is Pali. Buddha explains this message in Pali. And the very first quality that we should need, good association. Good association leads all other qualities in our life. The second one is not only we have the good friends, but we should listen to what Buddha taught through that good association. That is also very important. The third one, wise reflection. Yoniso Manasikara. Yoniso Manasikara means the way that we should think, not to arise evils and to develop positive thoughts in our mind. Wise reflection is very, very important on this path. Yoniso Manasikara, wise reflection or wise consideration. The fourth one, practice the message. We should practice according to what we heard, what we are listening to. How do we practice it? How do we practice Buddha's message?
Contemplating?
Yes, contemplating.
On the message.
Yes, very good. Yes, what are the ways that we practice this message?
Meditation?
Yes, meditation is one of the techniques. There are 3 techniques, especially Buddha says, in one of them is in the primary level, the others are in the secondary level. In the primary level, we should practice 3 things. They are generosity, virtue and meditation. In the mundane level, with the understanding of the karmic law. The second one, with the understanding of the dependent origination, we should practice 3 disciplines. Trisiksha, Sila, Samadhi, Panya. Virtue, concentration and wisdom. And the other thing, there is a very special thing, that there is a stanza in page number 2. There is a very special stanza in Buddhism, because all Buddhist doctrines can be included into this same stanza. Let's recite this stanza together. Okay, page number 2. Sambha papassa akaranam kusalassa upasampada Sachinta pariyodapanam etam buddhana sasanam. Again. Sambha papassa akaranam kusalassa upasampada Sachinta pariyodapanam etam buddhana sasanam. Okay, very good. Why did I say that this is very important? Actually, this stanza was said by all Buddhas who appeared in the world from time to time, with same words. This is the summary of Buddhism. All Buddhist doctrines that Buddha explained for his 45 years can be included into this stanza verse or gatha. What is the meaning of this stanza? Sabbha papa sakaranam, not to do evil. That is the very first advice of the Buddha. The second one, kusalassa upasampada. What is that meaning? Yes, do good things, practicing good deeds. What is the third one? Sachit pariyodapanam, purify one's mind. There are 3 advices here. What they are? What is the first one? Not to do any evil. The second one? Do good and purify one's mind. Actually, this is the very simple meaning of Buddhism. When somebody asks you what Buddhism is, actually this is the answer. Okay? You should learn by heart this very special stanza. That is very important. This is a very powerful stanza. For blessings, we can recite this gatha in the morning and evenings for 3 times. That is a great blessing for your life. Not only blessing, but if we practice this message, we can see the visible results in this immediate life. That is very important. You know, a lot of people, especially Yudev people, Yudev children, they are very interested in learning Buddhism. Especially in the USA, a lot of Jewish students in the schools, they learn Buddhism, they practice Buddhism. You know, they are the very, they are very intelligent people in the world. They have a keen investigation, learning Buddhism and practicing Buddhism. Especially as Sri Lankan people, you have a great duty because your elders, your forefathers protected this message. Because of Sri Lankan people, we can see the early Buddhism in this world. In our, forefathers, they protected this message, dedicating their entire life. Especially as Sri Lankans, even though you are living in the UK, you should learn this message and you should practice, and you have a duty to spread this message to the world. That should be your great duty, not only studying your subjects, but studying Buddhism, practicing Buddhism, getting research Buddhism. You should spread this message to the world. Especially in some European people, like German people, they first time translated some Pali canons, Pali text to English language. Sometimes they translated some books from Pali to German before they translated to English. More than 100 years ago, German monks. They went to Sri Lanka, they were ordained in Sri Lanka, and they wrote a lot of books in German first. Finally, they wrote some books in English too. And especially here, we have a great duty to study this message and practice this message. And the more we practice this message, the more we are happy. Why is that? This is the path that leads to be happy. Even though we are very rich, even though we are very educated, actually we are not happy. We have a lot of mental problems. When we study Buddha's message, we know how suffering arises, how we overcome suffering. Others don't know. Other people may think that if we have a lot of things around us, if we have a lot of friends and relatives, we are happy. They may think, but we know very well. The secret of happiness is that purifying one's mind. Here, it is very important to understand the negative thoughts that disturb our peace of mind. Buddha says, it is very easy to defeat millions of people, millions of enemies in the battlefield, in the war. It is not difficult. What is the difficult thing in our life? Winning our own mind, purifying our mind. According to Buddhism, enemies are not outside. Enemies are inside. What are the enemies? Yes, very good. Negative thoughts are the enemies who disturb our peace of mind. All of negative thoughts can be included into 3. What they are? Greed, anger, and delusion. These are the three negative thoughts that disturb our peace of mind. First of all, we should recognize who they are. Then we should understand the way how we overcome, how we reduce these negative thoughts. Buddhism has explained the path in both ways. One of them is in the primary level, in the surface level. The second one, Buddha says, the deeper level, understanding. In the very first level, Buddha explained the path with the understanding of the karmic law. What is the karma that Buddhism introduces? Karma is a very important doctrine in Buddhism. What is the meaning of karma? Karma means actions. It is not just actions but volitional actions. If we do something with intention, consciously, that belongs to karma or actions. Actions mostly is divided into two. Evil actions and meritorious actions. In another way, Buddha says black actions and white actions. What is the meaning of black? Black means evils. What is the meaning of white? White means meritorious deeds. And when our mind is polluted with negative thoughts, then our actions are negative. When our actions are negative, the results are black. Results bring us suffering. Buddha says, if someone does something with impure mind, physically, verbally, and mentally, the results are evil, and that evil results bring us suffering. In the another way, Buddha says, if we do something with pure mind, physically, verbally, and mentally, positive thoughts bring us suffering, happiness because of the purification of our mind. And according to this message, first of all, Buddha has introduced to practice three meritorious deeds in the primary level. What they are? Practicing generosity, offering something to others kindly. The second one is moral conduct, discipline in our speech and behavior, practicing 5 precepts. The third one is meditation, practicing loving kindness. What is the meaning of generosity? Yes?
Giving?
Yes, giving something to others with kindly. When we offer something to others, it should be meaningful. It should be help to their health too. If you offer some drinks or smoke, that is not charity or offering dana according to Buddhism. When you offer something to others, that should be meaningful, that should be helpful for their life. Okay, the second one is moral conduct, discipline in our speech and behavior, especially Panchasila, 5 precepts. You know the importance, the value of the 5 precepts. Last year, there was a conference in Russia. More than 1,000 students gathered together. They had that conference about how reduce HIV virus from the world. It was a very big research. A lot of people, a lot of students have presented their research papers, how they overcome HIV virus from the world. Among them, a student who is from Sri Lanka presented a very special research paper. What is his solution? He says practicing 5 precepts is the solution for getting rid of HIV virus from the world. You know, among hundreds of research papers, that research paper has come to first. What is the meaning of 5 precepts? There is one of precepts that abstaining from sexual misconduct. That Sri Lankan student presented this message from Buddhism. How valuable this message is. Sometimes we don't care these doctrines. Actually, Buddha has introduced this message for more than 2000 years ago. We are so fortunate. We know very well throughout learning Buddhism how we succeed our this life. Not only hereafter. Some people may think that we should practice Dhamma for the results of hereafter, for next birth. It is not true. When we practice the Buddha's message, actually we are so fortunate. We know the way how we succeed this immediate life and also how we overcome some problems in this life. And that is why Buddhism always emphasizes us to practice 5 precepts. Abstaining from taking life, abstaining from stealing, abstaining from sexual misconduct, abstaining from telling lies, abstaining from intoxicating drinks and causing heedlessness. These are the 5 precepts. If we practice these 5 things, actually we can overcome more than 50% problems in this world. We are so fortunate. We know the way how to overcome some problems wisely. The second one is practicing loving kindness. We are mostly suffer. We are mostly unhappy because of our mind is angry with others. If we can overcome anger as the result of practicing loving kindness, Buddha says, the highest attitude that we should have as the result of practicing loving kindness, when we see a person, when we meet a person, we think that person like our only son or daughter. That is the highest attitude as the result of practicing loving kindness, thinking, may all beings be well, happy and peaceful. On the other side, Buddhism says, practicing loving kindness is the highest merit in the mundane level, in the primary level. If you practice loving kindness daily, continuously, actually that is the way how you can increase your spirituality to the maximum level in the mundane level with the understanding of the karmic law. Here it is very important to understand in the karmic law cause and effect. Karma, actions and its results. When our mind is polluted, the results are evil, negative. If our mind is pure, the results are fruitful. This is the understanding of the karmic law. Very first understanding. The second one, Buddha says, the very important thing, understanding of the cause and effect, causality, the dependent origination. This is the essence of Buddhism. This is the heart of Buddhism. This is the unique of Buddhism. You know, before Buddha appeared in the world, some people had realized the karmic law, actions and reactions. Some people had realized. It is not a new topic in Buddhism. But the very important thing, the very special thing in Buddhism, that the dependent origination of Paticcasamuppada, or the meaning of impermanence. Understanding of impermanence is the place that we can show our wisdom, our knowledge. Even though you are well educated, even though you have a lot of degrees, even though you are very rich, you are not clever according to Buddhism. Where are the place that you can show your skillfulness? your proficiency. The place that you show your understanding of impermanence. What is the impermanence that Buddhism says? What is the impermanence? Sometimes there are some very little children who were born in Sri Lanka. Actually, they introduce the meaning of impermanence. Sometimes their age is less 4 years. You are not so young. There are some children who are less 4 years. Explain the meaning of impermanence in Sri Lanka. In Sinhala language, I can send that message to your parents. You can listen with the meaning of that sermons from your parents, and then you can understand how they are intelligent, they are wise. You are not so young. All of you are elder than those children. What is the meaning of impermanence? That Buddhism says, anicca. Yes, please.
Nothing ever stays the same. It's always changing.
Yes, changing is one of the meanings of impermanence. But changing and impermanence are not completely same. Impermanence has a deep meaning. Changing can be realized, can be understood by anyone, any person. But impermanence is not like that. Please let me know.
Nothing in this world lasts forever, basically?
Yes, that is also very close to the meaning. But impermanence, anicca, has a very special meaning in Buddhism. Changing can be understood by anyone. Now you are so young, little by little you are going to old age. And now you are healthy, one day you are unhealthy. Now you are living, one day you are subject to die. That is changing. Impermanence has another meaning. That impermanence means, the meaning of impermanence depends on the understanding of the dependent origination. It means, when conditions are together, the experience arises. When conditions cease, the experience immediately ceases. For example, I can give you an example, very, very simple example, like this sound. Okay? When you listen to this sound arises at the moment. Before you heard this sound, it was not here. After you listening to this sound, the sound doesn't remain. The sound arises at the moment, it immediately ceases. You can understand this finger is subject to decay, my ear is subject to change, my consciousness is subject to change. It is very easy to understand. But arising of this sound is different. Because of these conditions, the sound arises. And also the sound immediately ceases. On the other hand, the sound arises because of these conditions, like fingers, my effort, my ears, my consciousness. Because of several reasons, the experience arises. But be sure, the experience doesn't belong to reasons. Because of these conditions, sound arises. But this sound doesn't belong to my fingers, my ears, my consciousness, the air. It doesn't belong to anything. But without these conditions, sound doesn't arise. Our entire experience that we receive through our 6 senses also like that. When we look at something, because of our eyes, forms, lights, consciousness. Because of several reasons, the shadow arises, forms arises, but suddenly it arises and immediately it ceases. It doesn't remain. But our ignorance, our delusion doesn't believe it. Our ignorance or delusion says that after experience, it remains. When we remember something which happened in the past, suddenly when we remember something, our mind goes to the past. For example, when somebody has blamed you, as soon as you remember that incident, what happens to your mind? You may get angry. Why is that?
Because you know you're not to blame.
Yes, still you think that that incident is happening. When you remember that incident, actually at the moment you are reading your own mind. That previous experience has completely ceased. But your ignorance doesn't believe it. Your ignorance says that still it is happening. When you hear something, when you remember something, when you smell something, suddenly our mind is fixed in outside persons or things. We have no understanding that now I read in my mind at the moment. Every moment we read our own mind. But because of no mindfulness and because of no understanding about the cause and effect, we live in the past experience. Our entire life is our six senses. What are the six senses that we have? Our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. These are the six senses that we have. Buddhism emphasizes be skillful in senses. Buddhist skillfulness depends on skillfulness in senses. These six senses arises at the moment. Not only these six senses, but the objects which come to our senses also arise at the moment.
How is the mind a sense? Isn't it what receives the information?
Yes. Mind can be divided into two. One of them is the present mind. Present mind means that what we think at the moment, it is very instant. Suddenly the first experience ceases. We usually live in the second experience. Second experience is like we compare the present experience with previous experiences. When you look at these books, you remember previous experience. These are the books. These are Buddhist books. When you compare these books with your thoughts, the first experience has ceased. And if we are mindful, suddenly we can compare the first experience. But if we are not mindful, the first experience suddenly ceases, then we live in the second experience with ignorance. Buddhism encourages us to live in mindfulness, to look at in the first experience. First experience is not suffering. It is not suffering or happiness. It is neutral. The first experience is neutral. The second experience that we create through our previous experiences, that is good or bad, suffering or unsuffering. Mind means mind is not alone. Mind or consciousness depends on other conditions. There are 5 things are together. 5 aggregates. Forms, feelings, perception, mental formations, and consciousness or mind. These 5 things are together. 5 things arise together at the moment. But the first thing immediately ceases. When we live, actually we live in the second experience. When we live in the second experience, we think something. But we think there is something outside. For example, when you think your vehicle, your car, suddenly your mind is fixed in some material things. It means present experience has ceased. Even though you think that, you don't know that now I am reading my mind. Your mind is fixed in outside things. The ability of mind is thinking or understanding. But that understanding can be divided into two. The first understanding is not bad, it is neutral. Then the first experience immediately, very instantly it ceases. When we recognize something, when we understand something through our mind, actually we understand through our mind, comparing with our previous experiences. But the fault is that ignorance. Ignorance means we don't know that now I read my mind. Okay, this is the place that we show our proficiency, our skillfulness. This is the way how suffering arises according to what Buddha taught. Understanding of impermanence is the highest quality that we can offer to a person. Understanding the karmic law is not a big thing in Buddhism. Whatever we do, we will have the same result. Even though we are understandable, we know the meaning of karmic law, we are not away from suffering. Why is that? When you think you have some good activities that you have already done, sometimes you have gone to Sri Lanka and some holy places like Katamasthana, Ruvanalisaya, Jayasri Mahabodhiya, and you have practiced some dana, meritorious deeds, Sangika dana. When you think those activities that you have already done, your mind is pure. But you are not still away from ignorance. Why is that?
Still living in the past.
Yes, still we are in the past. Still we are living in the material things. When you remember some activities that if you have helped some homeless person, you still think that person who is outside. But you are here thinking that your own mind. You are reading your own mind. When you remember that incident, that previous experience has ceased already. The material things are already done. We always live through our mind, in our mind. But we have no this understanding. That is why always we live in the material things. Even though we do some good activities with the understanding of the karmic law, still we are in ignorance. That is why we are not away from aging, decay, sickness, death and rebirth. That is the primary level thing, that when we go to the deeper level with the understanding of the karmic law, we should understand how suffering arises, how we have to overcome suffering. When you think something, Buddhism doesn't say you that you should not think. We can think anything. What happens in the past? Memory is not the fault. What is the fault? Yes, very good. Fault is ignorance. Very good. What is the fault? What is the ignorance? When we think something, we think that still those things are happening. We don't know that they have already ceased. That is the ignorance. If we can overcome this ignorance, actually our mind is not fixed any material things or persons outside. As soon as we experience something, suddenly we look at inside. Other people, when they experience through their senses, they look at outside. But we Buddhist followers, we look at inside. For an example, when we go to the mirror with our pet, the dog or cat, that innocent pet look at outside. It may think that there is someone outside. He looks outside. But whenever we go to the mirror, immediately we look at inside. We clean our body here. If that dog wants to clean his body, sometimes he may think that there is someone outside. He is ignorant because he thinks that there is someone outside. We are also like that. Even actually, in front of the mirror, we are not ignorant. But in other places, we are ignorant. Why is that? When we look at someone or something, if something is very clear or beautiful, we may think that he or it is very beautiful. We think that beauty or ugly comes from outside. Actually, it doesn't come from outside. We create beauty or ugliness inside. If we have this understanding, as soon as we experience something through our senses, immediately we look at inside with mindfulness. That is why Buddhism says, practicing mindfulness is the only way for the purification. Practicing mindfulness is the only way to realize the enlightenment. Practicing mindfulness is the only way for the liberation from suffering. Practicing mindfulness is the only way for gaining knowledge. What is the mindfulness that Buddhism explains? Living in the present moment with the awareness of our body and mind. Not only living in the present moment, but we should reflect on impermanence. My eye is impermanent. Forms are impermanent. Ear is impermanent. Sounds are impermanent. What is the meaning of eye is impermanent? Eye is impermanent means that this eye is not the physical eye. Eye means the ability of seeing. Actually, the eye that Buddhism explains cannot be seen. We can see body or forms, but we are unable to see the eye. Eye is the ability of seeing. That eye that Buddhism says arises at the moment when forms are appearing in the world. Eye, forms, consciousness, everything arises at the moment with the conditions. Immediately they cease. If we can understand this reality, actually we are so fortunate because we are away from suffering. At this moment, when we contemplate on mindfulness and impermanence, nobody can disturb our peace of mind. Nobody can steal our peace of mind at the moment. The reason is that we completely depend on inside our wisdom. All Buddhist doctrines focus on how we overcome suffering. Buddha's message is in the primary level. We have to practice 3 meritorious deeds: generosity, morality, and meditation. The second level, we should practice sila, samadhi, panya, virtue, concentration, and wisdom. Buddha says, as a wise person, the highest understanding that we should gain with our supramundane knowledge is the understanding of the 5 aggregates. There is a very special discourse in Buddhism that names Abhinya Sutta, which comes in Anguttara Nikaya. There Buddha says, the highest understanding, comprehension that we should gain is the understanding of the five aggregates. Five aggregates means our real understanding. We can see only persons, things, something outside. Actually, even though we look at something outside, we look at some persons outside, we really experience five aggregates. It is invisible. It is the bottom level. Five aggregates means Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. With perception, forms, feelings, consciousness and mental formations. These five things every moment arise and immediately they cease. You know, our life, our experience is like an iceberg. Have you seen iceberg? Of an iceberg, actually we can see only few things from the water, but a lot of things in the bottom of the water. In our life, we can see persons, things, jobs, money, many things we can see. Actually, that is only few things. In the bottom level, our entire life is five aggregates. Those five aggregates arise at the moment, they immediately cease. Understanding of the five aggregates is the highest understanding that a person can gain. Secondly, Buddha says, the most important thing that we should overcome are avidya, bhavatanha, desire and ignorance. Ignorance and the attachment to the world are the main things that we should overcome in this life. If we have this understanding about the impermanence, we are ready to overcome this ignorance and attachment. Then finally Buddha says, what are the most important things that we should practice with our supra-mundane knowledge as a wise person? If we are intelligent, if we are wise, Buddha says we should develop our concentration or tranquility and insight meditation day by day. Buddha says, according to Buddhism, actually, I have explained these things before too, that Buddhist GPA, Buddhist Grade Point Average, always you are interested in having high score in your GPA. Buddhism has explained the GPA. What is that? Buddhist GPA is that the duration of your concentration, your tranquility, your peace of mind. If you can keep your mind for a long time with a pleasant, wholesome objects such as loving kindness, breathing, by practicing those meditation techniques, if you can keep your attention for a long time as a concentration meditation technique, that is the place that we can show you a GPA, Grade Point Average. If you can keep your mind for 5 minutes and 15 minutes, half hour, 1 hour, it means little by little you develop your GPA in Buddhism. Not only Grade Point Average that Buddha has explained, but IQ too. Intelligence quotient. What is the Buddhist IQ? What is Buddhist IQ? Buddhist IQ is that the duration of reflecting on impermanence, arising and ceasing of our five aggregates or six senses. Whenever you contemplate on impermanence, reflecting on impermanence, it means little by little you realize the worldly reality as it is. Buddha says, as a wise person, the highest qualities that we can develop in our life are concentration and insight meditation with our supra-mundane knowledge. And for that, we should have good understanding, vision and mission. Both of them are very important. Every institute has a vision and mission. In Sinhala we say, Dhamma saha mehewara. Every institute should have vision and mission. Vision without mission is useless. Mission without vision is blind. Vision without mission is useless. Mission without vision is blind. Both of them are very important. What is the Buddhist vision? What is the Buddhist vision? Understanding of the dependent origination or impermanence. Anicca. Not being occurred comes to occurrence. Being occurred will not go to occurrence. This is the golden explanation in Buddhism. Yes, please.
Can you repeat that?
Yes. It is said in Pali as ahutva sambhutang hutva navavisati. Not being occurred comes to occurrence. Being occurred will not go to occurrence. The previous experience influences the present thought. The present thought influences the next thought. But the previous thought didn't come to the present permanently. The present thought will not go to future as it is. Previous thought arised and ceased immediately. It influenced the present thought. But present thought is new. It arises at the moment with the conditions in here. And the present thought will not go to future. But present thought can influence next thought. Our entire life is like that. If you can remember this message, you are the so fortunate person in the world. Actually, you were born in this world to realize this sentence. Never forget it. What is that? Not being occurred comes to occurrence. Being occurred will not go to occurrence. This is the nature of our all experiences that we receive through our six senses. This is the nature of five objects that we touch through our six senses. We have six internal senses and also we have six external objects. The nature of all of them is like that. But our ignorance doesn't believe it. First of all, we should be confident in this message with the confidence in the Buddha's enlightenment. First, we should have confidence. Actually, it is not just a blind faith. We believe a lot of things in our life with confidence. For example, How do you believe your birthday? Do you remember your birthday? How do you know your parents? Did you have a DNA experiment? No. We believe our parents with confidence. We believe our birthday with confidence. Why can't we trust in Buddha's message? First, we should trust in what Buddha taught. But that confidence someday will be over. When we experience this message, then the understanding of ours. For example, when you go to a new place, never you have been, first of all, you have confidence, the address or map. When you reach the destination, your confidence is over. Because that is your own experience. Like that, first, we should confident in this reality according to what the Buddha taught. Then, we can start this journey. That is the vision. That is the point of view. That is the right understanding, Samma Ditti. We receive Samma Ditti throughout listening to what Buddha taught. Then we start our spiritual journey by practicing Dhamma, by practicing concentration and insight meditation. Concentration meditation is little by little, we keep our attention in the present moment by practicing loving kindness, breathing meditation, contemplating on the qualities of the Buddha, qualities of the Dhamma, qualities of the Sangha. Actually, these are the places where I can be happy. We always think that we should go outside for happiness. Actually, the reason of happiness is inside our mind. Then Buddha says, we can live happily. When we train our mind, when we purify our mind from especially ignorance, then we completely live in the present moment. Whenever we remember, we suddenly know that now I read my own mind. Not only your previous experience, even you look at here. When experience comes to your mind, when you recognize something, actually the first experience has already ceased. You are happy or unhappy because of your present mental condition. Nobody or nothing can bring you happiness or suffering. We create suffering or happiness inside. When we have higher understanding with this message by practicing mindfulness, we completely keep our attention in the present moment with the awareness. Then nobody or nothing can disturb our peace of mind. Then Buddha says, very special thing, how we live in this world. Buddha says, let's live happily without anger among the people, those who are angry. Let's live happily without seeking sensual pleasure among the people, those who are seeking sensual pleasure. Let's live happily among the people, those whose mind is polluted with negative thoughts. We live with a pure mind. This is the path that Buddha explained for 45 years. It has a gradual path. It has a very gradual path. Little by little we go to the deeper level. Buddhism is like the ocean. Ocean doesn't deepen suddenly. The ocean deepens gradually from beach to the deeper water. Buddhism also like that. One day, a householder named Digajanu Koliya came to Buddha and asked a question. Bhante, let me know please, what should I practice to succeed this life? And also let me know please, how do I succeed my next life? There, Buddha says, if you want to succeed this life, you have to fulfill 4 things. Uttana Sampada, the accomplishment of effort, virya. Uttana Sampada, the accomplishment of effort. Araka Sampada, the accomplishment of watchfulness. Kalyana Mitata, having good friends. Samajivikata, balanced mind. Those 4 things are useful to succeed this life. Uttana Sampada, Araka Sampada, Kalyana Mitata, Samajivikata. Then he asks the Buddha, Dear Bhante, what are the things that we should practice to succeed next life? Buddha says there are 4 things. Saddha Sampada, the accomplishment of confidence in the triple gem. Sila Sampada, the accomplishment of morality. Chaga Sampada, the accomplishment of charity, offering something to others. Finally, Buddha says, the accomplishment of wisdom, reflecting on arising and ceasing. Even though that person was a very lay person who has a very common life, finally Buddha emphasizes the importance of practicing reflecting on impermanence. This is the path which deepens gradually what Buddha taught his 45 years. Have you any question? You can ask. And after that, all Buddhist doctrines can be included into both pillars. One of them is practicing loving kindness. The other one is developing impermanence. When we practice loving kindness, actually we don't stop in mindfulness. We have compassion, karuna, and mudita, sympathetic joy, and equanimity, upekkha. These are the mental states, sublime states that Brahmas are living in. If we can practice these 4 sublime states, it means we are like Brahmans, bearing a human body. Physically, mentally, we are like Brahmas. The very important thing in Buddhism. Other religions explain their liberation or their divine life after they die. How would Buddhism? Buddhism explains the Brahma or heavenly realm in this immediate life. Mentally, we can live like a Brahma or like a God. It doesn't mean Buddhism doesn't say Brahma realm or divine realm. Buddhism has explained. But before we die, we can make a heaven or Brahma realm in this human life. Not only that, the other pillar of Buddhism is that practicing wisdom. Wisdom also can be divided into 2. One of them is understanding of the karmic law. The other one is the reflecting on impermanence, cause and effect, arising and ceasing of our all experiences. Whatever we experience, everything, every moment they arises and immediately they cease. And these are the pillars that Buddhism has explained. One of them is practicing loving kindness. The other one is reflecting on impermanence, wisdom. Here I have collected all main Buddhist doctrines in this handout. Please look at the handout. Page number 7. The triple gem. As I mentioned before, understanding of the triple gem is very important at the beginning of this path. As a Buddhist, we know very well what is the triple gem. What is the triple gem? The Buddha, the Dhamma and the Sangha. Okay, very good. The 5 precepts. Abstaining from taking life, abstaining from stealing, abstaining from sexual misconduct, abstaining from false speech, abstaining from taking drugs, causing heedlessness. And those are the primary things in Buddhism. Then I have given here all Buddhist doctrines can be included into 3 levels. One of them is very primary level. Sometimes some people doesn't below there, some people don't below their previous lives, their next lives. It doesn't matter. But everyone likes to succeed this life. Buddhism has a lot of teachings. In Buddhism we can see a lot of teachings that how we succeed this life. Here it can be divided into 4. Education, employment, health and moral life. These 4 things are very important. If you want to succeed in your life, this immediate life, you should have good education and you should earn money righteously and you should have good health. Not only physical health, but you should have mental health. Both of them are very important. Some people are physically healthy, but they are mentally unhealthy because their mind is polluted with greed and anger always. They are not healthy. Actually, they are unhappy. Buddhism points out the way how we make a healthy mind. The second level, succeeding. First level is like having a bachelor degree, your first degree. The second level, having your master degree. Okay? How do we succeed next life? The second level, meritorious deeds. Dana, Sila, Bhavana. Practicing generosity, morality and meditation. That is the second level. Having a master degree. We should have, not only we should have master degree, but we should have a doctorate too. That is the thing which comes in third level. With the understanding of the dependent origination, we should practice 3 disciplines. Sila, Samadhi, Panya. Sila means virtue, and Samadhi means concentration, and wisdom means insight meditation. Then I have given here the vision in Buddhism. Can you remember that I explained vision and mission? Vision means understanding of the karmic law and the dependent origination. Mission means what we should do is that practicing 3 meritorious deeds and practicing 3 disciplines. Next, the ultimate goal of life. Happiness. Happiness is the ultimate goal of everyone. How do we achieve this ultimate goal? Reducing negative thoughts, reducing unwholesome negative thoughts. Greed, anger and delusion is the way to achieve the real happiness. And the best friend. Who is the best friend? Yes, best friend is the mindfulness. In Sinhala we say it, hita mituru. Hitata mituru wenne කොහොමද? හිතට මිතුරෙක් හදාගන්න. If you want to make a friend to your mind, you should be mindful. Mindfulness is the best friend. If you have this good friend, best friend, you never suffer. Because nobody can disturb your peace of mind at the moment whenever you are in mindfulness. Buddha says very clearly, living in mindfulness is like living in the field of the Buddha. If someone lives out of the mindfulness, it means we are living in the field of the Mara. Mara can do anything if we are away from mindfulness. And the next one, the fourfold mindfulness. The contemplation of matter, the contemplation of feelings, the contemplation of mind, the contemplation of mental formations. Kayanupassana, Vedanupassana, Chittanupassana, Dhammanupassana. Next, 5 spiritual faculties. Saddha, Viriya, Sati, Samadhi, Panya. Confidence in the Buddha's enlightenment, energy, mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom. These are the real dowry, real heritage, real property in our life. When Buddha meets a person, suddenly Buddha looks at how far that person has developed these 5 spiritual faculties in his previous lives, especially wisdom. Enemies that we should get rid of, real enemies, greed, anger and delusion, lobha, dosa, moha. Dhamma reflection, loving kindness, honesty and wisdom. These 3 things are very important. From the beginning to end, we should develop loving kindness, honesty and wisdom. The 4 noble truths, the suffering, the cause of suffering, the cessation of suffering, and the path that leads to cessation of suffering. The noble eightfold path, you know it very well. Sammaditthi, right understanding, Samma Sankappa, right intention or right thoughts, Samma Vacha, right speech, Samma Kammanta, right actions, Samma Ajiva, right livelihood, Samma Vayama, right effort, Samma Sati, right mindfulness, Samma Samadhi, right concentration. Essence of Buddhism. What is the essence of Buddhism? What is the heart of Buddhism? The dependent origination. This is the unique in Buddhism. Karma is not the unique of Buddhism. The dependent origination is the unique of Buddhism. And 5 aggregates. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. With perception, our matters, feelings, mental formations and consciousness. How to investigate these 5 aggregates? Buddha says very clearly, these 5 aggregates should be realized, should be investigated by the wise person as arising, ceasing, gratification, danger and letting go. And causes of developed wisdom. As we mentioned before at the beginning, from the beginning to end of the path of liberation, we should develop 4 qualities. Good association, listening to Dhamma, wise reflection according to what we are listening to, and practice. The Buddha's message in a nutshell. Let's recite it again. Okay, together. Sambha papassa akaranam kusalassa upasampadam sacinta pariyodapanam Etang buddhana sasanam. Again, I have explained a very special discourse. It means Avijja Sutta. It comes in Anguttara Nikaya. It explains some steps that we should practice from beginning to end. With good association up to enlightenment, we have practiced some levels from 1 to 1. Okay, this is the path that Buddha explained for his 45 years. Actually, even though there are a lot of teachings here, finally we have to practice only one thing. Don't worry that you have to practice a lot of things. Be sure, finally, you have to practice only one thing. What is that? Reflecting on impermanence, arising and ceasing of our 5 aggregates, arising and ceasing of our 6 senses, arising and ceasing of our 6 external objects. When we reflect on this reality, our all good qualities, inner qualities, gradually increase. Day by day, we are getting rid of suffering. If you know the path, what Buddha taught, you can understand you are so fortunate. Sometimes even though I see some people here who have been discussing Dhamma here more than 28 years in this place, actually even they haven't listened to this message like you listening just now. You are so fortunate. Even though they have discussed a lot of discourses, actually they have discussed all sermons in English translation. You are so fortunate. You are listening to this message through original text, the Pali text. If you are fortunate, you should remember these things and you have to read this article again and again. Then one day you will see the results. And you know, I have met some very clever young people in the USA. Very young couples. Sometimes both of them have doctorates. Some are working in Google. Sometimes some are working in Apple company. They have completed their educational, having their doctorates. They say, even though they have doctorates, they are so fortunate because they have the ability to listen to what Buddha taught. Than their jobs, than their education, they believe that the valuable thing is that having this message. One day you also will see the results of this message, and your parents, you should pay your gratitude to your parents because they have given you to this chance to you. And however, while you are studying in your colleges, in your universities, on the other side, you should try to go forward on this path. Actually, this is the path that Buddha proclaimed to the world as the result of his great experiment that he done for more than Sara Sankhya Kalpalaksa for many eons. But your education that you receive is not very old. It is maximally 5,000 years. But here, whatever you are listening to as the Buddha's message is very ancient experiment. It is the result of the great dedication that the Supreme Buddha did offer in his life for many times. And if we listening to this message, if we see the result of practicing this message, we are so grateful to the Supreme Buddha. Not only that, but we are so gratitude to the monks, Sangha, who practiced this message, who protected this message and who brought this message from generation to generation and who offered this message to us in the present society. If you know that value of the monks, you should fulfill, you should have a duty that you should take care of monks, because monks don't earn money. As the result of having this message, you should take care of monks, given the very fundamental needs. We say in Sinhalese, Sivpasa, 4 fundamental needs like food, robes, shelter and medicine. Those are the very fundamental needs that monks need. We never ask you other things, but your duty is to offer these things to Mahasangha, not only for us, but wherever you see a monk, you should respect them. You know, when you see some devotees in Thailand and Myanmar, actually they are so grateful to monks, and they are always generous. Every moment they are ready to offer something to others. But unfortunately, some of our people don't know this quality. However, day by day, we should go forward on this path by practicing these qualities and developing your qualities. You should develop your